So welcome back to another video. And I was just thinking, I just want to make a short video before I go back in the house. Hopefully these mosquitoes don't tear me up in the process. But I just wanted to talk about like this so-called reset and stuff like that. And I wanted to talk about Marvel Spider-Man 2, which is a highly anticipated game that I'm personally interested in and invested in, since the system is still going, right? But of course I want it to fall as fast as possible. But anyway, a lot of people, they want the system to crash, but like I said before, as well as other people, we gotta have our stuff together. We gotta have our spirit suit on. See what I'm saying? We gotta have our own food source and water source and stuff like that to replace this system that we want to so-called crash. And also I wanted to talk about like, what do y'all think about choice? My homeboy said the problem is choice, and I agree with that to an extent, because I mean, you have a choice, but what the main point that he was getting at when he said the problem is choice is the fact that because people can choose to eat healthy or unhealthy, that's a problem in in society or humanity or whatever, right? Because if there was no option for these restaurants, if these restaurants were not around, you would have no other choice but to eat healthy, but to be strong. If we didn't have all these technological devices and stuff like that, we would have no choice but to be smarter, stronger. You see what I'm saying? So because they created options for us to indulge in, we have fallen victim to these choices that we make. And like I said, I mean, I guess it depends on the individual, because some people's minds are stronger than others. Some people can resist certain interferences and stuff like that. Like example, like some people can resist going to restaurants, fast food and stuff like that. Some people can't. And then you got situationals. Example, some people are not in certain areas. You don't have full access to certain fruits and vegetation and stuff like that, so you have no choice but to indulge in what's around you, what's around your environment. That's part of the problem as well, because these beings have socially engineered and terraformed the planet to where we're limited on our resources. So yeah, now I'm finna jump to another subject. I want to talk about Spider-Man 2, some details that I saw in that video game. So basically, basically Spider-Man, Miles Morales, they were chasing the Lizard. The Lizard is in representation or symbolic for these reptilian beings that are running the planet right now, using these politicians and stuff like that. So basically, they chasing the Lizard, which is Dr. Connors, and then they got us so involved with what his name, Dr. Fauci. He was being brought up a lot. Dr. Fauci, these doctors, you see what I'm saying? So what Miles and Peter Parker are chasing after, they chasing after Dr. Connor, which is a doctor, and he's a reptilian. He's a lizard. And it's taking place in New York, of course. And what's so ironic about it is that in New York, they just released like some type of bill where they can have like crime fighting technologically advanced dogs. And in the video game, they literally had an advanced dog in the game. You see what I'm saying? Some type of saber tooth. You can just go watch the video game for yourself. It's all on YouTube. There's a lot of hype on it. People watching it. It's getting a lot of views. So yeah. Also, I wanted to talk about how they say that it might be being delayed because it has too many villains that are gonna be on this game. And personally, since I play video games, I think that's a good thing, because I want it to be a long video game and I want to get my money worth, right? And you know, cause the Miles Morales version, the regular version, you see what I'm saying? You know, it was like what, 65, 75 for PS5, and the game was so short. You could beat the game within 3 days. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like this would be giving them a chance of making up for that short video game. That Miles Morales game should have been like $40, right? Yeah, it should have been 40 on PlayStation 4, and it should have been like 50 on PlayStation 5. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, Spider-Man, they chasing Dr. Connors, the reptilian, and I found something that was, I realized that something, you know, it was subliminal to me, because when Miles was looking for Dr. Connor in that little dark room, he discovered his skin, and that to me, that represents the system shedding its old skin. You see what I'm saying? It's shedding the old system so it can grow bigger. I'm just literally just freestyling this perception right now. Like literally, if you watch the video game, you can see it. And this is just how my mind works. You know, I could be wrong, but as of right now, I'm visualizing it as that represents the skin. The skin of this system is shedding. They trying to create a new system, which is going to be heavily involved with technologically advanced enhancements and stuff, dealing with robot dogs and stuff like that. And they had it in there. And Peter Parker, he's being infected by the symbiote, this black goo that I was telling y'all about, this so-called Black Lives Matter, which is the black goo that matters. This is what they eat. They feed off of that matter, and I believe that matter that they feed off of is from so-called black people, is found in the minerals of our skin or in our bodies, period. And we have more of it than any other race, and that's why I believe we are basically the bottom barrel target. So-called black people are the basically the foundation of their buffet. You see what I'm saying? So they eat us, and you know, but they gotta kill us in mass numbers and stuff like that, so they can, you know, mine us for these minerals. You see what I'm saying? And the other races of people, they're just basically distractions to keep the matrix going. You know, and that's not to offend nobody or whatnot. That has nothing to do with how much you know, or none of that. You see what I'm saying? Because people gonna know what they know, or people gonna learn what they learn, regardless of your skin tone and complexities and complexions and all of that. I'm just making a point. As you know, according to what I think I know, you know, you just got filler in people, especially the sleep ones who just don't get it, who literally are NPCs. So yeah, I still want that game, but if the system was to go down right now, I'd be like, bump it then. You know, I ain't gonna be mad. You know, I just, you know, since it's still going and I can't do nothing about it, I just play the game. You see what I'm saying? But you know, that's my escape route that I choose to use to cope with this matrix. And speaking of cope, I did end up designing my little logo. Well, not logo, but the design of my tank tops that I'm gotta upload for y'all to see what cope is gonna represent, the backstory of it, how I came up with it, and how I want the shirts to look, and the apparel and stuff like that. I already got one tank top. I just got to get the other clothes and stuff like that designed up and all of that, and I'll decide if I'm gonna move through with getting it released and stuff. But you know, it ain't, I ain't taking it too serious. It just was a joke. But you know, if I can do something with it, you know, I will. If I can make money with it to do what I need to do to maneuver in this godforsaken matrix. So yeah, Spider-Man, the symbiote is basically, It needs a host to feed on, and that's what Peter is being consumed by. The symbiote is consuming Peter, and Peter will be infected and become Venom, I guess you could say. Venom is nothing more than the basically minerals. Is literally minerals. So yeah. And just for a side note, for those who don't know, like example, you got the desert. My homeboy had told me that a desert is literally sand or earth that has been depleted of its natural of its resources. I mean, of its minerals, I think. So that dry, I guess you could say, that dry sand that you see all out there in the desert, I guess that's where they were blowing up stuff, and they basically drain earth from its minerals. But you know, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's true, so I'm just putting it out there. If somebody knows, let me know. But yeah, and then they call it a desert because it's literally deserted. Nobody goes out there, but probably those beings who be doing dirty work or whatever underground and stuff like that. But what he said kind of made sense to me, considering they always bomb and stuff like that. That's how we get to where we are today, because they bombed a lot of us and stuff like that, and that's what the world wars were about. They had to take out a lot of us to get us to where we are today. You see what I'm saying? They had to morph us. They got that in the Spider-Man Miles Morales game. They got something called Nuform. Nuform is basically morphing. You see what I'm saying? It's wordplay. Nuform is morphing. So what they did, they basically morphed a lot of us. Everybody. They genetically edited all of our genetics and all of that. And now we're new. We're a new form. You see what I'm saying? That's the company that they had on the video game, Miles Morales. It's called Nuform. And that's what they trying to do. They got to constantly reset or constantly rewrite. You see what I'm saying? They when we start remembering what took place and stuff like that, they got to rewrite, reset, because people catching on, people waking up. And I don't think people ever woke up like this compared to back then during the old plantation slavery days. People were not as aware as we are today. I'm also thankful that we have so much access to information, even though I hate the use of the internet and stuff like that. We should be using our internal network that's within us. But I'm thankful that I was able to have access to what I have access to, and talking to people that have the same like minds and stuff like that. So yeah. So what I was saying, yeah, because I had shared it on my community post just recently. This guy was talking about why they have to constantly reset and stuff like that, and what he said made so much sense. And then on top of that, the more that they experiment with Earth, they have to constantly update its organisms. You see what I'm saying? Like Earth itself is a living organism, right? And the children had to grow with it. You see what I'm saying? And that's just like lab babies. If you create lab babies, you got to constantly upgrade your lab babies. If you do not upgrade your lab babies inside of an organic environment, your lab babies are going to fail. And that's just simple as that. It makes sense. And it's just sad and unfortunate that it had to come to this point in time. But you can only blame the head honcho for this. Can't blame you can't blame the players. You gotta blame the creator of the game. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I think I done said a good amount of information in this video. Hopefully y'all learned something from this video, and hopefully we can build from this conversation. And I'm about to head back in the house. and eat some GMO chicken wings, and I'm finna finish playing the game. And yeah, I hope the system crash and burn, you know. Whenever that'll be. Other than that, I'll be playing my games and crying every day, posting rants and stuff like that until I die. So it is what it is. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. So yeah. Free Thinker signing out, y'all. Peace. Thank y'all for listening.